Hey love, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here today and clicking on this video. Today we are talking about how to move from forcing to flowing in and at work. It's going to be a really good short video on what you can do exactly in order to get yourself out of this hustle, pushing, forcing, grind mentality and feeling and into a place of ease and enjoyment and how you're showing up to get shit done. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button below, join our community here. Make sure you also check the very top link in the description. The Rest for Success course is still open. The early bird discount is, however, closed, but you can still get in. I still highly recommend, if any of these videos have been speaking to you, that you scroll down and click on that link because this course is going to be made for you. This is going to be the only round that I do live and in person. So if you want this one-on-one support at a passive course price, so at a self-study course price, which is exactly what it's at, I highly recommend you get in this round. Like I said, this is the only time you're going to be able to have access to me through this course. Okay, let's dive into today's video, how to move from forcing to flowing at work. So what I really want to dive into here first and foremost is that we put so much focus on what you are doing and the quantity that you are doing it in order to measure the value of your output. Okay, so when you show up to work, there is this quantity focus. How many hours are you working? How much did you check off your to-do list? How much was on your to-do list in the first place? And we're really basing the value of what we put into that day, what we put into those work hours, off of how much you got done, off of what you were getting done, right? So when we start to understand that when we're in the focus around the what and the quantity space, we are in a forcing energy because we're constantly trying to hit a benchmark of what we think is expected of us in how we're showing up to work. What we want to do here in order to move into flowing, and this is really the only single thing you have to do, and it's why shifting this can actually feel so easy and hard at the same time, because again, we're so used to needing to have to do so much and for things to need to be so hard in order for it to feel like it was worth it, or in order to feel like we deserve to have things come easily to us. Does that make sense? Isn't that so interesting how our brains kind of trick us into feeling like we need to push, push, push and do it so hard in order to make the end result worth it, in order to feel like we deserved it? Crazy, but that's essentially what we've been conditioned to believe. And so that's how we continue to show up. And so when I say it's the easiest and the hardest thing, it truly is, because all you have to do is focus on shifting how you're showing up. You don't actually need to do anything else. You don't actually need to work harder. If anything, what we want to do is start to peel back the amount that you're doing. And that's why we talk about doing less, so that you can focus on how you are showing up. And this is what allows you to shift into flowing. So when you are focusing on how you are showing up, you get to say, okay, what is my energy? And this is what we call energy management behind what I'm doing here. Am I showing up and I'm stressed and I'm overwhelmed and I'm anxious about this project that I need to do, or about the fact that there's this deadline coming up and like I don't have enough time and I'm just in this energy of I have to do it, even though the rest of my body, the rest of my emotional grounding and foundation might be saying, hey, we're totally exhausted right now. The last thing that we want to do here is show up to do this task. We need a break. We need a day off. We need to do some kind of self-care. We need to get out into nature. Your body is constantly communicating with you. But when you're showing up in the way that we've been taught and conditioned to show up, in the way that you've been taught and conditioned to show up, we are ignoring the body. And that's where we fall into forcing instead. And again, that's all the things that we just talked about. So shifting into managing how you're showing up then can look a little bit something like this. When you are feeling, oh my gosh, I'm so exhausted, I'm so stressed, I'm so overwhelmed right now in this task or whatever is going on in my life, I need to change and shift and adjust my energy. I need to do as I said before, some energy management. And so when you give yourself that space to do that, you notice that it's happening and you press pause to do the energy management. And this can literally be something that takes you 5 minutes or 30 seconds simply to notice, hey, I'm not feeling the way that I want to be feeling right now. It's making me show up in this forcing energy, which I know is affecting my results because I'm irritated. I'm not able to focus as well. I'm starting to procrastinate. It's going to take me longer to do this task. Let me pause right now, shift my energy so that I can tap back into this flow. And so when you start tapping back into this flow, that means you have shifted your energy and you're coming back with the perspective and the intention of, okay, I've taken whatever it was that my body was asking me for, or I've made the adjustments that my body, my mind, my emotional well-being has been asking me for. And now I'm going to show up again. And how am I going to be doing this differently so that I'm focusing on the how? I'm making sure that I'm managing how I'm showing up as opposed to really, basing my achievements of this day based on how much I got done. We want to strip that away when we're managing energy, when we're tapping into flow, and really lean into, I get to make this fun and enjoyable. What would make this experience, even if it's something that I really don't enjoy, like taxes or working out that I'm doing because I know I need to, I know it's going to make me feel better later. I know it's part of a bigger goal. How can I make this experience fun and enjoyable, right? Let me know in the comments below if this difference between forcing and flowing makes sense and where you think you are most days. It's totally normal for us to live predominantly in this forcing space simply because that's where our conditioning around work comes from. That's what we think we need to do. That's the space and the energy that we believe we need to be in order to create the results that we want. So this is really about redefining that narrative for yourself, redefining those beliefs, and starting to live a little bit more every single day in this space of flowing and making that space feel safe. All right, I'm going to leave us there for today. Let me know in the comments what your greatest takeaway, aha moment was from this video. Don't forget to scroll down to the very top link in the description and go check out Rest for Success and enroll in that course. It's going to be such an incredible experience. I literally have poured my heart and soul into this course, and it feels so, so good to finally be able to share it with you and bring this to life. And I cannot wait to embark on that journey with you. I'll see you next time.